welcome back to the channel. I'm here at Tydirium Hangar with Mike, helping him review this unreleased Grimlock. I brought this with me. Of course, I have a bunch of unreleased stuff that I need to review, but I'm going to take a look at this one right here at Mike's channel, and hopefully he gets about 1,000 views. I take it to my channel, I'd probably get 165,000 views, but this thing was unreleased. Transformers Red. Never ever has this seen a retail release, and it will never see a retail release. Now, we've seen mixed results with the red line. It's just something that's happened in the past. Although we've seen some okay red figures, some absolutely terrible red figures, this figure here is the greatest figure ever made by human hands. Of course, until tomorrow when I review another figure that's going to be the greatest figure made by human hands again tomorrow with that figure, whatever figure that one is. But anyway, let's take a look at this red figure. We're going to look at this thing and more on Mike's channel here at Tydirium Hangar coming up. Mike says on his channel he likes to share the box, but you know, something I don't do very often. But this thing does not come in a box, it comes in bubble wrap. Quit asking about the box, Mike. There's no box, but I saw you had this laying around. I wanted to show this off to everybody on the channel here that you actually got this figure for 14 quid. Wait, no, that's 14 US dollars. That's like 8 quid, bro. That's an excellent value. You did a good job on that. Let's just look at this. Let's pretend just for a moment that this is the box. This is the box. Let's open this up real fast. Boom, got it out of the bubble wrap, which held it in the bubble wrap for all this time. Look at that. That is what it would look like if it had a box. It was inside of a box. It's too big for the box. All right, now that you're done hounding me about the box, because I mean, who has a box this day and age? We're gonna take a look at this figure. This is absolutely amazing action figure that's been created by Hasbro, and they've outdone themselves with this one. You know, some of these red figures are absolutely terrible, but look at this one here. You can open up this front piece right here, and look, it's got an Autobot symbol. Of course, a lot of Mike's figures don't have Autobot symbols. He's got these third-party Masterpiece Transformers, but they're not even Masterpiece. The third-party, they're not real, but I love them anyway. He does a great job displaying them. Not really. This opens up. You see all this detail inside, the silver and all that kind of stuff. Looks fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. The head sculpt itself, well, it's actually not spot on to Grimlock, but that's not what, nothing that the Red series was going for was being spot on to G1 or spot on to anything at all, actually. But with that still looks fantastic. For whatever they were going for, they hit it absolutely perfectly. Look what we got. I want to say I'm going to hold all my positives for this till after I'm done showing you all of these paint accents and stuff. There's paint right here. I mean, that probably costs like 80 cents for that paint app right there. Surprise. This one here actually has some shine to that shiny paint app. Get down below here, cast in red, but then they did the extra detail with the silver. Look, they went to the back here, and then they said the extra detail on the gold. So this paint here, and paint here, and paint in the back. Look at all the paint they put on this thing. Obviously, didn't have to transform, so that probably saved them 90% of the cost of the engineering. So it's just an action figure. Barely an action figure at that, but still it's an action figure. Look, the leg goes, oh, we're going to get into articulation, show you what it does not do. But anyway, getting down here, we have paint apps, blue, green, multicolor in here. Fantastic paint apps they got on this thing all over. None of that's on the back, but do have it on the side right here. Can't wait to get talking about all these other pieces right here. Some fantastic stuff. Even paint on the one accessory. We will get into accessories here in just a moment, but I think they've outdone themselves with the paint job. Let's get into looking at some other stuff on this that you only get on a Red figure. Now, although this figure does not transform, this is part of the Red series, that's the good and the bad, that it does not transform, but this thing has kibble as if it does transform. See, that's the interesting part about this, is it has kibble on it. You've got this back piece here. This would be something when it transformed. Now, obviously, if it did transform, it wouldn't be able to sit exactly like this. There'd be some hinges and stuff going on right here, and it wouldn't look this clean. This looks fantastically clean because of the fact that it doesn't have to transform. And then looking at this, they actually have workable, movable kibble on this. That's next level Red series kind of stuff. Like, yeah, obviously something that they are starting to work into the Red series. You can pretend it actually transforms even though it doesn't. You have the negative side effects of transformation without a transformation. That's next level engineering from Hasbro. They've outdone themselves. Fantastic. Look at this here. Look, this moves around. It's kibbly. It's all kibbly, just like as if it would transform. You would think you could fold this leg around and it would come around like this and you could it doesn't transform, but it has the kibble. Fantastic job leaving some kibble on a non-transforming action figure. That's fantastic. Now, I've got to say a couple of my knocks on this figure. There's some negative that I will say, is it only comes with one accessory, but that one accessory is so absolutely freaking amazing. Look, it's made of translucent plastic. Look at that plastic. Look at that. That's absolutely freaking amazing. It's clear plastic. I love the clear plastic on this. It does have paint. 3 paint apps. 2 gold, 1, whatever. It's a dark charcoal gray. Fantastic paint jobs there. Now, one downside I will show you, of course. Let's get that 8 quid figure over here real quick. Look at all of the, this thing was only like 8 quid, right? And look at all the accessories it comes with. It comes with a ton of accessories. Now, I'm saying that if this thing was actually done to full production, it would have had a ton of accessories also. It would not have just stopped with the sword. It would have had all kinds of accessories. My mind is blown on how many accessories would have possibly come with this Grimlock. What could have come with this Grimlock? It would have been awesome. Then he could have had a cesium salami to go along with it. It would have been fantastic if they would have had more accessories. This could have seen retail, but I'm actually just feeling so absolutely lucky that I got this thing, this unreleased action figure. Still happy to have it, but only one accessory. Alright, for articulation, the head goes side to side, circles up and down, all kinds of good stuff. There's no articulation in the kibble right here, but this goes right up to there with the shoulder joint. They've done a lot with the shoulder joint. You can't really access it because this is in the way, but that's actually exactly where it should be, so they did a good job with that. And then bicep swivel going right here. You got a 90 at the elbow. If you get this out of the way, C, movable kibble, fantastic. Great job, great thinking, great engineering. This falls off as it should. They probably would have included extra hands if it went to full retail, but it did not go to full retail. The hands are holding hands, which is perfect to include with this. You do have the side to side on a ball joint right here, which is fantastic. Might rub that paint though, so be really careful with that. Of course, you got the waist swivel. The ab joint goes to there, and then you have articulation. That's as far as it's going to go because of the design and all of that. I mean, it's only an action figure, so it really shouldn't be hindered by that, but it is hindered by that. Still makes it the greatest action figure ever. You're going to go up and down a little bit with that joint on the hip right there. You got the thigh swivel going on right here. You have 90 degrees at the knee. This thing has articulation. Articulated kibble is fantastic. Put that in every one of these red figures. And then we have, with this, some little bit of articulation in the foot, just enough. I mean, heck, he's looking like he's got no foot syndrome, but that doesn't stop him from being the greatest action figure, well, today. Now, for comparison, we're going to compare him to the G1. Now, normally you don't see me compare to G1, but we're here at the Tydirium Hangar. My guy's got all kind of G1, got all kinds of masterpiece, and masterpiece stuff is really nice. It's not used to seeing it. The G1 stuff looks exactly like I see in pictures, and so I'm not really too impressed, but still, seeing it next to the G1, you can see much bigger. It's much larger than the G1. Fantastic. It's where it should be. Dinobots should be large. They should be massive. They should tower over everyone else. Well, I mean, you tower a Dinobot, towering over Dinobot. Well, that's just the way it is. Here's next to Galvatron. He looks fantastic. In my 24 years of life, I mean, I don't think I've quite seen anything that measures up just this well and looks this fantastic. Look at this right next to Galvatron and how he stacks up to the Galvatron. That perfect, absolute, complete and total perfection. I know I've said some negative stuff about the Red Series in my day. Some of those figures are just garbage, but this thing here is one of the better ones. The Galvatron's one of the better figures. Of course, Grimlock, only today and today only, is the greatest action figure that's ever been created by man's hands, by man ever. Greatest action figure. That's how it stacks up. And as I've said, Grimlock should tower over Optimus Prime and all of them. Dinobots tower over the regular bots. That's how it should be. They worked this out in Red Series. This must be the biggest Red Series figure ever made. Might be part of the reason why they decided to scrap it, because it's so big. The cost would not have been able to get this out cost-wise to hit that $25 price point. But hey, Mike's getting them for £8 on clearance, so that's fantastic over here. All right, so here it is. Next to this is what I understand, New Age. This is the Legend scale stuff. And I've got to say that I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping with the phrase, the greatest action figure ever created, because I'm looking at it next to the New Age. That New Age is really nice. Wow, very nice. I'm going to try to stick with the narrative that this is the greatest action figure ever made, even though New Age is standing next to it. That New Age looks good. And with the crazy pose. What's the crazy pose for, Mike? It's a crazy pose. He can't even stand. I can get a better pose than that. I'll get a better pose here in a little bit. But look at this side by side, looking like he's not the greatest action figure ever. But he's still got to be the greatest action figure till we finish this video. Here this is next to some masterpiece. I'm having a hard time staying on target saying that this is the greatest action figure ever, especially when it's stacked up next to these masterpiece. Reximus Prime, KO, oversize of Takar's official masterpiece Grimlock. This is Megatron MP36. This is fantastic looking figures, but still, look how good that Grimlock looks right there. Why don't I collect masterpiece? And here it is next to the Yellow Park AMK Pro Series Optimus Prime. Fantastic figure. Cannot wait to see AMK to do their take on this and send me some more action figures, especially a Grimlock. I mean, they need to do a Grimlock. How big will their Grimlock be? It'll be fun to see because they'll send it out to me and I'll be the first one to show it, and it'll be so much fun, just like this one right here. But of course, this one right here is the best for today. Right, so this has been my look at the Transformers Red Grimlock. It is unreleased. You're not going to get your hands on this. Well, you might. This might be some shady dealings to get one of these, but to say this figure is the greatest action figure today is the truth. Tomorrow it might not be, but it's still amazing that we got this in our hands. I want to be able to say the posability of this is next level, but it's just about on par with what they do with the Red Series. I know the Red Series is limited, the cost and all that kind of stuff, so understandable there, but still, it's got that movable kibble and all that great stuff. As a mainline collector, I appreciate the scaling of this thing. It's much bigger than the average red figure. Finally, they broke out of that small red size and got a little bit bigger with this Grimlock. But I'm absolutely curious what you think about this figure. What do you think about the Red series going forward? It's obviously a canceled line, but it didn't die too soon. Let me know what you think. Had a lot of fun here with my Tydirium hanger, and I'm gonna go make a video on my channel, get a ton of views. You might get 1,000. I'm gonna get like 165. Tydirium hanger out. That's what you say, Mike. Tydirium hanger out.